morning, good afternoon, good evening. Tomorrow here, and I am just showing off in detail all these pretty seedlings I have in the greenhouse. I'm going to start from the beginning. So I have Purple Majesty sweet potatoes as well as Covington sweet potatoes, just normal sweet potatoes. They're sitting in soil. I do it so that I can save these little ones instead of these big chunkers, because then it can get extra nutrients from the soil. Whereas if I just stuck a tiny one of these into water like you're supposed to, then it just doesn't have enough nutrients to create the slips. So I just started these less than a week ago, so no slips are expected to show up just yet, but soon. All right, next up is my second round of tomatoes. So I have Sprite, I believe they were a cherry variety of tomatoes. I have Sun Gold and Cerise Orange, which Cerise Orange is supposed to be better than Sun Gold, so screw you, Sun Gold. Everyone loves Sun Gold. I hate Sun Gold. So we're going to try that one and see if, people even notice a difference. Cherokee Purple and Great White Beefsteak Slicers. All right, then next up is I have my second round of Shishitos. And then two types of marigolds. I have Orange Flame and Sparky. Sparky I got from True Leaf Market, and Orange Flame I got from a friend that lives about half a state away. And it's about the same germination rate, and he saved his from his garden. So I'm excited to save those myself, the seeds. But I got Sparky before I got those, so we're going to see the difference and see how they go. The difference between a local grower and not local grower. And then next up we have tennis ball lettuce and Copenhagen cabbage. And the Copenhagen cabbage is my third generation of growing and saving these seeds. And the tennis ball, this will be the second generation of me growing and saving the seeds. So they are doing pretty good. Next up is the eggplant. So I have Patio Baby and Black Beauty. I grew Patio Baby, and I still do. I will always do it because it's a dwarf variety. But a lot of people have been asking about a normal variety of eggplant, so I got the Black Beauty. I might end up growing an Asian variety of eggplant as well. I'm not sure yet, but that'll be in the next round. And then Genovese basil. That's the first basil I'm growing. And then the next round, I'm going to be growing like 5 different types of basil. So now we're going to get to more adult size ones. So this is the orange habanero that I need to up pot. But they are growing as if they were a dwarf variety. But they're just normal orange habaneros. So that's going to be interesting to see as the season goes on this year. Because I've grown them before, but I sold every plant. I've never grown them to fruition to produce myself. So we're going to find out this year. And then the last of my lemon drops. They never sell, but they're my favorite. So whatever, I'm still going to grow them no matter what. I have a planter in the middle of all these cells. And this one has Tom Thumb. These are specifically to grow to seed. I am doing a staggered succession. So these are the first group to pop up. Here's the second group that's popping up. And probably later today, I'm going to put in a third and just scatter them about. And this is the Roman chamomile. As you can see, I originally did a very dense seeding because I did not expect a very good germination. And as you can tell, I did an amazing it was almost 100% germination. So, whoopsie. So they're everywhere in this greenhouse right now, but I've spread them out a couple days ago so that they can fill out into the cells. Here is the one that I am most excited about. This is artichoke. So I've been wanting to grow artichoke just because it is a perennial. I wanted some sort of vegetable that was perennial. Asparagus, you need like 5 years before you can fully harvest them. And so I'm too impatient for that. So I figured let's go ahead and do artichoke first. It needs a cold stratification, but these I did not do a cold strat. That's pretty good for not doing a cold stratification. I do have more seeds in the fridge. That will be my next succession. And I'm going to see what the difference is between the two. But considering that this was not cold stratified and it's supposed to be, and I need to go ahead and up pot these two. They have enjoyed this warm weather the past week, because they did not look like this like 2 days ago. So yay. Next up is the dwarf tomato tray. Like, I just put all the dwarf tomatoes in here. I have a new variety I am trying this year, Raindrop. It's supposed to be yellow pear, but in a dwarf. It's very interesting leaf structure compared to the orange hats that I have grown for 5 years now. I've grown this since day one, the orange hat tomatoes. But this will be the second generation of me growing from my own seed. I could say that this is one of the ones that started me on, because these used to be so expensive, the seeds, because there were, when I first started growing, very rare. Now it's becoming more common, but I started saving the seeds to save money. But now it's more common, probably because I started doing that. And then this is the red robins. So orange hat, red robin, raindrop. And then next is my second round of peppers. So I have one that I cannot pronounce, but it's specifically for chorizo seasoning. I'm growing that specifically for that, and I'm so excited because I love chorizo. Hawk's Claw, my absolute favorite because it's a dwarf variety, of course. And then red cayennes, because as you can tell, the germination isn't that good. These red cayennes seeds were 2 years old that I saved, but they're 2 years old, so I've already grown, for my first round I have a lot, but I still wanted more. Now I have a tray of the cherry tomatoes. So we got Sun Gold, which obviously is very slow to grow because they're so tiny. I also have the Midnight Pear, which I tasted from Street Fair Farm, one of my vendor neighbors at the farmer's market, and I thought it was absolutely delicious. I loved it. So I can't save the seeds because I believe it's a patented variety. I need to look that up. It says open pollinated, but then it says exclusive only to us. So like, there's a line being drawn there, a visible line that no one wants to talk about. So I need to like consult with somebody on that. Green Doctor. Oh, excuse you. You are not a tomato seedling. Still pretty though. Bye. So Green Doctor, my absolute favorite, even more than the Midnight Pear. Black cherry as well as yellow pear, because yellow pear, I mean, is just standard, and black cherry just tastes so good. So moving on from the cherries, I actually have more cherries. Haha, tricked you. This is Matt's Wild cherry. They're itty bitty cherries that I'm growing, and they grow bush-like. They're not a dwarf variety because they will just keep growing and growing, but they grow like a bush. So I'm excited to try growing these. And as you can tell, actually, I mean, these all were seeded at the same time, but this is so much, like, it's literally like different in size. It just goes down smaller. I think what happened is these 50 cell trays are in no drainage hole 10-20 trays, but then underneath is the seeding mats. And these tables are built to size, thanks to my dad, the size of the heating mat. But as you can see, heating mat doesn't go all the way to the edge. So I think what happened was there's more heat here, it's less heat over here. So that's literally a really nice like showing of the steps of sizes between them. I just think it's funny. I love gardening. These are the Purple Galaxy cherry tomatoes that made an absolute fuss over the internet about a year or two ago. I don't know what time is. These are the tomatoes that are purple on the outside and on the inside. These are seeds that were sourced directly from the lab that modified them, that genetically modified. Yes, they are. So the lab that genetically modified them, a friend of a friend bought those seeds directly from the lab, and he gave me a handful of the tomatoes to save the seeds from. He cross-pollinated them with black cherry and honeybee cherry tomatoes, and that was because when we tasted them, like we all were in his garden and we just tasted them, and they literally had no taste. I thought I had COVID because that's how little of a taste they had. So he said, hey, this needs a little bit of something. I mean, they're pretty. And obviously they're going to be high in nutrients because that's what they are. That's why they were modified like that with the snapdragons. But they need some sort of taste to make them, like, you know, worthwhile. So these are the seeds I saved from him cross-pollinating. I'm going to be growing them alongside black cherry again, and we'll see what goes on from there. I'm very excited. If you hate GMOs, then whatever. Shoo. Next up is Black Eye Susan, the vining variety. I always grow these because they are very popular for me to put in hanging baskets. And so these seeds are 2 years old, didn't have a great germination rate, but I'm going to be starting more the next round. And here's more of the chamomile, and more chamomile. It's everywhere. But here's another planter, but there's nothing in it. I needed the space to hold more plants, ironically. But this is the kale. So for the story about the kale is that I personally love blue curled Scotch kale. That is my absolute favorite kale ever. Downside is not everyone agrees. A lot of people last year wanted dinosaur kale because it's large and lives up to its name. So I said, okay, I saved the blue curled Scotch kale seeds last year. I still got some for myself. Not enough to sell more of, just enough for my stash. And these I'm going to sell the 6-packs at the market, and the others I'm going to save the seeds myself. So this year will be dinosaur kale, and then next year I'm going to flip to the blue curled Scotch so that there's no cross pollination there. And get as true as you can. So I'm going to basically flip-flop each year. One year will be my favorite, the next year will be everyone else's favorite. That's how we're going to compromise. So on that note, let's move on to the biggest plants I have right now. And these are all the peppers. Look at all these peppers. So many peppers. So let's see if I can remember them all off the top of my head. Purple cayenne, I am very excited because it is an heirloom variety. And it's just cayennes, but they're purple. I'm so excited. They did get a little bit burnt from being in the domes. So these started off as seeds. As you can see, they're already in bigger pots because they grew so big. But when they were in the 50 cell trays, I had domes over them. So these kind of burnt in the domes. But as you can see, they're already growing side shoots. So they're still extremely healthy and happy. So I am leaving these burnt leaves on just so they can get some energy to work on those side shoots. Purple cayenne, hawk's claw, always going to be one of those because it's a dwarf variety. But as you can see, had the height difference too. It's purple cayenne in the front, but it literally grows like a little dwarf. I think this one's even starting to, yeah, you could barely see it. I thought it was an aphid at first, but almost is a flower in there. Again, the shishitos, which are a highly recommended pepper. I cannot wait to have them this year. Shishitos. And then these are these purple or, yes, these are the purple bells. Finally found 2 bell varieties that are heirloom specifically, not just open pollinated, but heirloom. I wanted heirloom specifically for sweet bell peppers. So I got purple bell, and then I also got emerald giant, the green bell pepper that you're used to. I got those coming in. Oh, the leaves aren't looking too hot on this one. But another reason why I germinate so many is that, I mean, everyone's like, oh, I kill plants. Well, yeah, so do I. When you have this many plants, yeah, it just looks like I don't kill plants, but I do. I mean, some plants are going to die. It's just the way it is. Just grow so many that it doesn't really make a difference, or you don't really notice. Jalapenos are jalapenos, but they are a dwarf variety. It's a hybrid, so I can't save the seeds, but they are great producers. So, I mean, I can't say no to that. And again, it's a dwarf variety, and I can't say no to that either. So, lots of jalapenos for the market this year. I might actually grow some, not to save the seed, but just to sell as produce or just to have as produce for myself. And then we're almost done. And when we're done, I'm going to turn on this fan to help with air circulation. The air circulation will help with any diseases that might pop up, like this brown that might be a disease. Air circulation is very important because I mean it is very muggy, very stale in here because it's been a long winter. But that's why we have the fan for. After I'm done doing this video, the fan will be on. Especially on these guajillos. I love guajillos. Every time I grow them, no one buys the plant, but they buy the seeds. I don't get it. So I'm just growing guajillos for me so that I can have the skins to make enchilada sauce, and then I just sell the seeds. So there you go. I guess that makes everyone happy. So that's what we're gonna do. More purple cayennes because I can't have enough of those. And then the lemon drops. Like I said, no one likes the lemon drops. Doesn't matter. I love the lemon drops. I'm growing them for me. The water's slightly cold because curling normally means it's cold. Wonder why only the lemon drops are like that. These are tests that I did for a seed starting class that I am teaching that's coming up. It is a free class if you're in the Charlotte area. I would highly recommend signing up for it. We'll be doing soil blocks because this is a block party. Soil block party. Hee hee. But I'm also going to be showing this, what has become a viral way of starting seeds. And that's so many people call it so many different things. Soil snail, soil snail, sales, say anything 5 times fast. But the point is that you wrap, a lot of people were using polycarbonate. I don't want to. It's not biodegradable. It has plastic. Why would you want to use that? So I'm using craft paper. Nice thick boy craft paper. I have pea plants. I mean, this started 2 days ago, so nothing's going to be showing up just yet. The folded in half craft paper, it seems to be working just fine. Tied together with twine, so no plastic whatsoever. And the goal is the seedlings come up, and then you just unroll it. And I put the seeds in the exact same spacing that you would need in the ground. So it's just unroll and stick the whole paper and everything in the ground. That's my goal. And I'll be teaching that in the class of how to do that, as well as the standard egg carton that everyone loves to do. I have calendula seeds in here. Again, started 2 days ago. And then last up is these Tumbling Tom cherry tomatoes. They are a hybrid, but they are amazing in hanging baskets. And so I cannot wait. I have them in bigger ones. I mean, they look dangly and thin. That's how they grow. As you can tell, they want to tumble. So they live up to their name. They're gorgeous. Again, they get nice and bushy. But because you put them in a hanging basket, they vine down and it looks gorgeous. And you get tomatoes from that. So excited for that. I need to do another round now that I think about it. Anyway, that is everything in my greenhouse as of January, almost February. That is everything I have in the greenhouse. And I'll do another one of these videos in probably about a month or so and see how everything has changed. Thank you.